What's up and welcome guys to One Oak Mentoring, the #1 virtual teen service group home entity, commodity, business, company program of all time, right? Now I know y'all like, man, what this dude been at, man? It's been a while, man. I'm not gonna lie, man. I've been doing a lot of stuff, man. Kind of got, complacent, haven't been doing my videos, man, but I'm back on it, and we're gonna make this thing happen, all right? Now, today I'm just gonna be telling y'all kind of like what happened like within the last couple weeks, man. Just keeping y'all updated and stuff like that. Updated, right? It's been a couple of months, right? But I'm back, and I promise I won't leave you guys again. I won't cause any depression in your life, okay? So what am I gonna talk about today? Let's talk about, okay, so about 2 weeks ago, right? We were in the cafeteria. So we're in the cafeteria, man, we're having a good time, everything's cool, everything's laid back. And we had a resident, we're gonna call him Mark, right? Mark isn't even remotely resembling of his name or whatever. So we're gonna call him Mark. So Mark is a different type of person, you know what I mean? He might fly off the handle here and there, but I really don't get to work with every resident as much as most people would think, you know what I mean? So, most of the time I see him, he's in a good mood. Anytime I hear about anything bad or something, he might have did or whatever, I'm not around. So just keep that in mind. So we're in the cafeteria, everybody's just chilling. And so Mark just kind of gets into his mood, you know what I'm saying? So he's like, just out the blue. No, I'm not gonna say out the blue. It was something about the line order. I'll get into all that stuff, but it's something about the line order. And I guess that was his day. He was supposed to be first, and another staff was there, and they was like, hey, let's just go by the regular line order, the one that doesn't rotate. So just a little miscommunication. So Mark goes over in the corner. He got this mean face on, and he's like, F this, F that, and then he started talking to the staff, the one that came up with the, we're just gonna go by the regular list. He started telling the staff, man, F you, this and that, you a B, blah, 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 this and that. Now, this is just regular group home stuff. The person he was saying this to is very experienced, but this is regular group home stuff. People just, talking trash to you, not every day, but it happens, right? So he's just going on his whole spiel. F this, I don't like this place. I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, all while just sitting there, right? Now, I'm so experienced and such, I'm an expert, I can kind of feel, I'm vibey, you know what I mean? So I can kind of feel the vibe, that was building up. So this particular day, now I know y'all looking at how good my hair look, but this particular day, like I had my hair down, it wasn't really braided or whatever, so I was just like dangling. Like it's kind of down now, but it's kind of in, that doesn't matter. So I'm start seeing the tension rising up with Mark, right? So, I take my hair, I tie it up, just in case something happens, it's part of protocol with TCI, but we'll get into all that stuff. So I'll tie my hair up and, Mark is just going crazy. Yeah, I don't give a F, this. And then, my boy or the staff that he was, mostly referring to, he was, kind of, he's a seasoned vet, you know what I mean? So he was, letting them talk, but, still, he was trying to soothe over the conversation, right? So he's not going to be like, if a kid tell him F you, he's not going to be like, F you too, man, you little, you know what I mean? Because that'll just, make tensions even worse. So you know what I mean? Y'all know what I'm trying to say. Anyway, so I'm just seeing the tension build. Normally in these situations, I kind of just, especially when it's a staff like the one that was dealing with it, very seasoned, just as much as an expert as I am. So, they got it. You know what I mean? They know what to do or whatever, right? So, so then I hear Mark tell the staff, hey, I'm gonna get my brothers to come up here and beat you up, or, something he was saying, like he was just talking real crazy or whatever. And so, when all that was kind of like, happening, Mark just stands up and, walks out, the kitchen door or whatever, right? So he walks out the kitchen door, right? Now, normally we're supposed to step in front of him or something like that, just in case, it just kind of depends, you know what I mean? So like he just walked right past me, so you know, I don't even know why I really didn't stand in front of him and stop him that time. I kind of really wanted to give him a chance, you know, to go out. You know, maybe he was gonna go outside, walk off some of the steam he had built up. You know what I'm saying? Blow some steam off, or however they say it, or whatever. So, you know, the last resort is to restrain, right? That's the last resort. But you know, sometimes we definitely have to restrain. So that's why I just let him go out the door. Hey, maybe he wanted to walk around, you know, get his mind right, you know. So he walked out and started going back towards his house, right? And, you know, he's still talking aggressive. He's like, hey, yo. So it's me and the staff he was talking to was following behind him. He was like, hey, yo, these staff that's following me, some bees or something like that. Something like that he's saying, you know. Normally I'm on good terms with this kid. So he was kind of like, his mind wasn't all the way. Y'all know what I mean. So he's like, yo, these staff some bees right here. He was like, y'all better quit following me before I get my 4 brothers to come up here and y'all up. Y'all better stop, you know? So he just like, yeah. So before he got to the door, me and the staff that was with me, you know, like we made it, you know, to the house like before him, you know. Well, actually the staff like came around me and got in front of the door, you know, just so he won't go in there because those are where the rest of the kids are. And I kind of missed the fact that when we were in the kitchen and all that cursing was going on, they cleared the room, right? Clear the room is when they take all the residents out of, you know, the environment or that situation. You know, I guess just so the kid don't want to, you know, lash out at somebody, or just so the kids just won't see that situation. More so that the staff can just deal with that resident more directly, if that makes a little bit sense. I'll make a video on room clears, right? So I had to get that back into perspective for you guys. So in the house, there's like the kids, right? So, all right, back to the story. So the staff kind of stepped in front of him, right? And so when the staff, you know, stepped in front of him, you know, it's a very thin line between like how much aggression we're gonna tolerate from a resident before we like restrain or take them down. So, you know, he was trying to get to the door, and then, you know, the staff is actually my friend too. So the staff was kind of like, you know, chill out. And so like, you know, he kind of got a little bucky. You know, do you know what bucky means? It's kind of like you snatching, and, you know, your body is a little aggressive. It's a little, you know, you're doing a little too much, right? So he's trying to go in the house, and, you know, my boy's like, you know, chill out, you know, because it wasn't time for him to go back in there because he was still aggressive, right? So, you know, he's trying to, you know, and then like he's just start like snatching away like violently or whatever. And so now what I'm about to say, just pay attention to it because it's gonna sound bad, but it's not really bad. So like, I didn't want to give him the opportunity to just swing on us or anything, but I still knew, you know, he was like really, you know, aggressive. So I came up to him like, hey, you know, chill out, man. And, you know, he kind of looked at me like a certain type of way, and he acted like he wanted to like barge back towards the door. And so I like grabbed him. Now this is kind of a touchy situation. So I grabbed him in a very therapeutic policy procedure type way to where he really couldn't swing his arms, right? And so when I grabbed him graciously, gently, and respectfully, right, he started like bucking a little bit. So I'm like holding him in a non-threatening way. So I'm holding him, and then I looked at my boy and I was like, yeah, he was like, yeah, we gotta take him down. So I didn't like slam him on the ground or slang him on the ground, you know what I mean? I just, you know, gently, professionally, like got him on the ground, right? So he's on the ground, and then we gotta clean it up, right? So what I mean by cleaning up is we gotta get into all the way to 110% TCI, I don't know, form or whatever, right? I'll use that. So, you know, I'm at the top, you know, kind of holding his arms, you know, it's a certain way. I'll get into all that. You know, it's gonna be a specific video for that. So, you know, my boy, he's at the bottom, like he's holding his feet. Now, restraining is not to, you know, enforce our dominance or anything like what people might think or whatever. It's just kind of like to prevent them from hurting themselves or others, right? So we got him down there. He's down there. He's like, let me go. F you, you a B, this and that. You know, blah, blah, this, blah, blah, that. You know, he's going on. you a B, you that, you know what I mean? And so somebody called staff support. I haven't made a video about staff support, but staff support is when like it's a situation that needs other staffs to support them, right? Staff support. It makes a lot of sense. So they come over, you know, and I'm like, I don't even know who's there. I just know it's people out there. So, you know, I'm down, you know, I got them. And, you know, I'm just letting them get all this, you know, hardcore talk, you know, just get all the gangster talk out of them, you know. And, you know, he's still like, let me go, get off me, right? And so then, you know, I'm calmly, professionally talking to him. I was like, hey, man, just calm down, brother. It's all good, you know, it's not too late to turn this thing around. You know, I'm being very therapeutic. Y'all know I'm an expert at this thing. So I'm being very therapeutic. I'm patting him on the back to show him as well, like, you know, hey, I'm not here to hurt you. I'm not here to try to show how strong I am or, you know, anything, man. I'm here to protect you from yourself, right? Knowledge. So I tell him, because, you know, we had him in a position where he really couldn't move, but he could breathe though, right? So I tell him the best and the only thing for you to do is to calm down. Because literally, I mean, he couldn't move, he couldn't go anywhere. That's all he had to do was just calm down, right? And then I told him, I used what he used against us, against him. He was talking about his brother, man, my 4 brothers come up here, do a drive-by, beat y'all up, man, hell, y'all pistol whip y'all, do all that, right? So I'm saying, hey, while I'm in the restraint, I'm like, hey, I remember you telling me about your brothers, man. I mean, you got a real good support system, man. You got 4 brothers. I know they love you. I know they want to get you home back to them as soon as possible, right? Knowledge, right? Knowledge, right? Using it against them, but not, you know, I was still being real, you know, because I don't know his brothers. This is the first time I ever heard him talk about his brothers, but I assume, you know, they want him back, you know, so I'm using them, I'm letting that sink into his mind. So, you know, he's like, you know, oh man, you know, so, you know, he's just chilling or whatever, right? So then, eventually, like, you know, he's not as tense. So, you know, normally in a restraint, they're like tense, they fists are clenched, they like tight, they like, you know. So I start feeling his body, you know, relaxed or whatever. The more he relaxed, I relax, you know. Constant patting him on the back, you know, it's all psychological, you know what I mean? Patting him on the back, hey, it's gonna be all right, man. We all make mistakes, you know. Relating to him, you know, trying to talk him down out of whatever mindset that he was in, that because he was pissed off or whatever. So, and while I'm on the ground, like I looked down at my knee, and I had like, man, I was bleeding, like I was bleeding a lot. I guess because when I was on the ground, like I scraped it or whatever, but it was like these 2 big marks on my knee. I'll show y'all. But there's these 2 big marks on my knee. Hold on. I know, right? That's what comes with being in the battlefield, right? But I'm so tough, so it really doesn't, you know, harm me. It really doesn't affect me like that. So then I'm like, hey, man, we were down there for, I'm like, hey, I got to go get some Band-Aids or something like that, man, because, you know, we had already been down there for like a little while. I was like, yeah, it's time to get this thing bandaged up, packaged up. So, you know, I get my knee together, you know, everything. I come back out, and then, you know, they still outside talking to him. He's not ready to go back in, you know, but he's not aggressive, swinging or doing anything. We really don't want him to do. He's just not going back in, you know, to chill out in the one-on-one room, right? So, I know it's gonna be a lot of fast forwarding. So, like, I don't know if it was the next day. I don't know if I worked the next day. I think it was like 2 days after that. I came in for something. I totally forgot about the restraint. And the first person that speaks to me is Mark. Hey, how you doing, Mr. Sean? You know, this, and that. You know how, like, we've never, like, you didn't just threaten to have 4 people come up here and, you know, assault me, kill me, or do anything. But, you know, I don't take that stuff personal. I'm like, hey, man, how you doing, brother? I didn't even bring it up. You know what I mean? Because it's like, why? You know, he's calmed down from it. And so I'm like, you know, so every time, well, not every time since then, because we always had a pretty good relationship. You know, I'll see him, he'll speak, hey, how you doing, Mr. Sean? Hey, what we having for dinner? You know, this, and that, you know, real good mood. So, you know, I know I'm skipping around a lot. So like a week and a half later, you know, which was yesterday, no, like 2 weeks, I don't know. Yesterday I go into work, and, you know, I'm just so used to not being there every day and always seeing kids come and go. You know, so I'm in the classroom with the kids, you know, and I'm just chilling. I hear a new kid talking to another new kid, and they was like, yeah, man, such and such, yeah, they took him back, you know, and then he was talking about Mark. So while I was gone, like I'm not gonna say they sent Mark back to jail, but he must have went to another placement or something like that. I'm really not all the way sure like how all that stuff works, but normally when they say a kid goes back, he goes back like to jail, or it just could be another placement, or it could have been home, but I doubt he went home. It's just a lot of special circumstances and stuff. So that's just one of the stories, man. I got a lot more stories to tell y'all guys. I'm gonna start keeping this updated, you know, doing this every day, a video every day, just something that pertains to my job. I'm trying to get some type of support, some sponsorships or donations or something like that, man, because I just want to bring y'all my world of the group home world to you guys. I don't know, man. That's pretty much it, man. This is One Oak, and I am out.